P90X Kenpo X. You know, this is a really fun workout routine to do. And the time just flies by when you're doing it. You know, you've got lots of punches and kicks and combinations, and it's just something fun to do at the end of a week. You know, the end of a week where you worked really hard those first 5 days doing your weight training and yoga and plyometrics and stuff. So, just a good way to kind of end the week. You know, when I first started and I was doing Kenpo X, I couldn't keep up and do all the moves, you know, every single one of them all the way through. You know, like some of the punches, you do a jab, cross, hook, uppercut, and you'd have to do that 25 times. Well, you know, I couldn't do all 25, so I was taking, you know, breaks during that and resting, and that's just fine. You know, and I wasn't doing anything during the minute-and-a-half long breaks. I wasn't doing any of the jump ropes and jumping jacks and all that stuff. I was getting some water and recuperating and getting ready for that next round. And that's just what I suggest you do as well if you're first starting off. You know, don't worry about getting through everything all the way through. Take breaks when you need it. And just get through the entire routine that way. Take as many breaks as you need. But what I did was I worked my way up to doing all the moves all the way through first. And what I mean was I didn't really worry about the minute-and-a-half long breaks where they still did cardio stuff. I still took those breaks. So until I could do all the moves all the way through, I didn't worry about those breaks. But once I was able to do those, then I concentrated on, you know, being able to do the jumping jacks and the other stuff they do during the breaks. And that's kind of where I suggest you start as well. Concentrate on the kicking and the punching and stuff first, and then worry about getting through those breaks, doing the extra cardio moves. Now, you know, after a while for me, it really got too easy. No matter how hard I pushed myself and how much energy I put into it, the entire routine from the beginning to start, I just didn't feel like I was getting the workout that I wanted to get. So, what did I do, and what can you do? Well, what I did was I substituted that routine for a routine out of the Insanity program. You know, I would put in like the Pure Cardio DVD and do that workout, or another one. I just did something that was a little bit more intense. And so if you have the Insanity program and you feel like Kenpo X is starting to get too easy for you, substitute it out. You know, it is the only workout that I've ever substituted out of the P90X program, and it's actually the only one that I would ever recommend to substitute out. It's the only one that I've ever found that can get a little too easy once you are able to do it all. So I wouldn't really recommend that doing with any of the other workouts, because you really should never get to a point where it's too easy in the others. There's always something you can do to push yourself farther. I just found in Kenpo X, I couldn't find anything else to really push myself any farther than I already was. So what do you do if you don't have Insanity? Well, my first question is, why don't you have Insanity? But we'll get into that later. The only thing I could really think of to recommend is maybe to bring up the intensity during those cardio breaks. You know, when you're running in place and you're doing your jumping jacks and jumping ropes and then the X jacks, try to do them, you know, as fast as you can. So run in place as fast as you can. And then jump rope as fast as you can. And the jumping jacks as fast as you can. And just try to up the intensity during those breaks and see if that helps. You know, you might even be able to add in, you know, a bunch of push-ups or something in between. Just something to bring up the intensity. It's the only other thing I could think of to still do Kenpo X. Now, here's just a few quick tips that I do have for you. You will hear some of these in the videos, and I just want to reiterate some of them here just because, especially one of them, is really, really important for you to do. But the first one I just want to give to you is really, you know, wear something comfortable, because you really do need your full range of motion with all the kicks and punches you're doing. You know, you're going to be in all sorts of different, angles and stuff. So wear something loose, something comfortable. I didn't the first few times. I just wore my normal workout clothes, and I found that I didn't quite have the range of motion that I needed. So I wore, a little bit looser of a shirt and shorts from then on, and I found it to work great. So just wear something comfortable. Now here's the big one, and like I said, he mentions this in the video. Don't bang your joints. What do I mean by that? Well, okay, let's say you're doing, your punches, and you extend out. You don't want to hyperextend your elbow. You want to be able to have control over your movements, because you're going to be doing them, real quick, real rapid. And if you bang your joint, and you can, it really does hurt. I did it a few times at the beginning before I really knew what I was doing. And, it hurt for a few days after that. So try to have control over your punches and over your kicks, no matter how fast you're doing them, and try not to hyperextend them. You really can't injure yourself that way. And the last tip that I have for you is have fun with it. Look, it's the last workout of the week, and it really is a fun routine to do. Even though it has become too easy for me, I still throw it in every now and then when I'm doing P90X, instead of substituting it, just because it is so fun to do. You're still going to burn calories, and you're still going to get a good workout. So just have fun with it. So there you go. There's my quick review of P90X Kenpo X. Adios.